Yes, some Muslim businessmen pay tens of thousands of dollars in order to hang out with other businessmen. And I know this because I've been doing business full-time for 7 years and I've generated over $2 million online, as well as coached hundreds of brothers on starting their own business. And in this video, I'm going to show you, even if you're just starting out in business, how you can benefit from the same thing those guys are paying tens of thousands of dollars for. We're going to go through what it is, why it works, and then how you can personally benefit from it to make your money online too. There's a big problem when we're watching YouTube videos about business, especially as a beginner. There is a lot of advanced tactics that are being shared online, and you think that you have to implement all of it. So when you see that they've got a 20-part email follow-up system, you think you have to do that for your business. But it all depends on what stage of business you're in. So there are a lot of things that you shouldn't be copying these advanced people in, but there's one thing that you absolutely should be taking from them, and that's this. You see, if you've got an online business, then the value that you bring is not your location in the mall and how many people are passing by in the footfall. It's not the raw ingredients that go into making your product, whatever it is. It's actually your mind and your ability to be on your own side. You see, your mind has this natural protective mechanism. It wants to keep you in the comfort zone. I call it the comfort trap because so many brothers are stuck in that zone of life that they're just used to and comfortable with, and they never break out. They're trapped in it. If they were to escape out of it, their lives would change completely and they would actually go on to achieving some of their ambitious goals they have, and they would quit being average, which I know is a lot of your biggest fears. I know it's mine too. And that's exactly how your mind cannot be on your side when it's trying to keep you in the comfort trap, but you want to expand and go beyond that and start your online business, make real money online, and live a life of flexibility and fulfillment. So to make sure you're consistently breaking out of that trap, you need to grab your mind and bring it onto your side and bring it onto your agenda and not let it take you away from your goals. And that's exactly what these successful businessmen are doing. And it's not just them. Successful athletes, even Islamic scholars, they understand the power of what we're covering here. And that's why they pay thousands of dollars to get people to challenge their own mind, challenge their own assumptions, and push them beyond what they've created as their own comfort zone and go beyond that to succeed even more. They join something called masterminds. What is a mastermind? It was coined by Napoleon Hill. If you've ever heard of the book Think and Grow Rich, he mentioned it in that book in 1937. And he said, when you have one mind connect with another mind, a third mind is actually created. And that third mind is more powerful and better than those two minds separately. And that's what you get when you bring people together. Google also had Project Aristotle, where they looked into what makes teams function better and be more productive. And they found that having safety, meaning all the members of the team felt that they could contribute, they could throw ideas out there and no one was going to judge them, as well as having a shared goal, helped these teams outperform the lone geniuses, the ones who are really smart, the high performers, but they're on their own. The teams outperformed them because they were working together in this way. And even Allah mentions in the Quran as well the power of shura, the power of mutual consultation. The Prophet ﷺ, for example, he asked the Sahaba what their opinion was when the Battle of Uhud was coming and they were wondering whether they should fight in the city or they should go out to meet the enemy. He did shura in that circumstance. So masterminds, working together, collaborating, all of this is extremely powerful for the top business people, Islamic scholars, athletes, and you. And a mastermind does three very powerful things that you can take advantage of as well. The first thing it does is it acts as a coach. Even though there might be 10, 20 people in the room, but it acts as a coach by questioning your reasoning. When you have to justify and explain your reasoning to the other people, especially people that you respect and you feel safety with and you're on the same path as, it tightens up your own thinking, your reasoning, and it will let you leave that session feeling more confident and with more refined ideas and goals and strategies of what you're going to do next. It also helps you question your assumptions and make sure that what you're going to do or what you're doing right now is actually in line with your intention and your agenda and objectives for your life and your business. And the next really powerful thing a mastermind does is it acts as a mentor. Even though you don't have one person that you're with in that room, they might have 10, 20 people, but it acts as a mentor in terms of people who are ahead of you, maybe in business, maybe in certain areas of life, maybe just one slice of business, they're better at you, they're ahead of you, they've got more experience than you. They can simply tell you, this works, this doesn't work. This is important, focus a lot of effort and energy on that. This is not important, don't even worry about spending time on that. And what does this do? It gives you clarity, it gives you real methods, and it lets you focus on what really matters instead of wasting your time on what doesn't. You know, a few years ago, a brother came to us asking for help with his business. He was an ex-Taekwondo champion and he wanted to set up a shop selling Taekwondo gear and equipment. Now, he had put all of the thought into the product. He ordered the best product from China. He had a container on the way. He spent 40,000 pounds on that container with all the equipment and stock in it. And when we asked him the most important question, what's your plan for marketing? Where are you opening the shop? Is the footfall there? What's the demand like? He had no answers. Now, I don't know ultimately what happened to that brother. I think he must have struggled a lot based on his answers about our marketing questions. But if he had just asked us a few months earlier, before he spent 40,000 pounds on that stock, I think he would have been in a much better place. And all it would have taken is asking mentors, people who are a little bit ahead of him in the game of business. And the third powerful way that a mastermind helps you in your business journey is accountability. When you're in a room with other people that are doing better than you, for example, in business, it forces you to aim higher and to aspire higher and to realize what is possible. Likewise, other people in the room with the same agenda as you as growing their business, they will cause you to want to perform at a high level and to achieve success and to make progress. And when you see others making progress, it forces you to want to make progress. It's something very special about the human condition that you can see someone else doing well and it gives you this oomph, this push, this motivation, this drive to push forward yourself as well. I always remember before I ever had a successful business, I used to read a lot of business and psychology books. And one of my favorite books that you might have read yourself is The 4-Hour Workweek. But one thing that clicked in my brain when reading that was how normal it sounded that he was talking about making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 every single month. That was mind-blowing for me. But he explained it in a way that made it sound so simple that it is possible. And that was the seed that was planted that allowed me a few years later to go on and make $100,000 in 1 month with my own business as well. So this stuff really does work. Now, the question is, if you're just starting out in business and you're not going to spend tens of thousands of dollars on joining a mastermind, how can you benefit from these three things that I just mentioned? The mentorship, the coaching, and the accountability. Well, you can go out there and find a coach. You can go out there and find a mentor. You can go out there and find accountability. These are things that you can go and try and find and maybe not pay too much for. But I noticed this myself, that the things holding people back are lacking these things: mentorship, coaching, accountability, especially accountability, because the number one killer of businesses before they even begin, and this keeps brothers average for the rest of their life, is that they don't take enough action. Their doubts hold them back, their procrastination holds them back, and they're not consistent. And therefore, they don't get success and momentum in their business. And that's why I created the Front Row. It's a system that helps you take aggressive action on your big goals, like starting a business, and it helps you stay consistent. It helps you fight off the doubts and uncertainty that comes in your head. And it gives you support, brotherhood, and coaching to answer the questions that you're always going to have. So whether you join the Front Row, you can see the details in the description, or whether you go and find these things individually for yourself, the point is that you need to take from this video that you need to grab onto this concept of a mastermind. You need to use it for yourself, for your success in business or in your other goals in life. And just like I said, a good mentor, they'll let you know what you need to focus on and what you don't need to waste your time with. And that's why in this video here, you can see the skills that you need to actually build a successful business. They're not the ones that everyone talks about. They're not the ones coming to mind right now. So watch that and you'll find out exactly the skills that you need to be successful in your business, even and especially as a beginner. Go watch that video now.